And before we officially move forward, let's look at the final AP and US LBM coaches poll coming up here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, we got the final AP and USA Today coaches polls on Tuesday. And the AP, man, I got a bone to pick with them because they dropped Oklahoma to number 13 behind Alabama. Okay, I can understand that. Crimson Tide beat us at home. Fair in the playoffs. It's fine. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who were so sad that they missed the college football playoff that they decided not to go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Boo-hoo. Behind the BYU Cougars, Jay, whose only real link to the playoff is that their only losses were to Texas Tech. Oh, and Texas Tech got shut out by Oregon, so they're fraudulent. And then behind Texas, which, listen, Texas didn't make the playoff. They lost to Florida, but they do have the head-to-head win from the 2025 season over Oklahoma. So as much as I hate it, I can understand it. But behind BYU and behind Notre Dame, nah.
Yeah, that's where my beef comes in. I don't see a reason for Notre Dame or BYU to be ahead of, honestly, Texas or Oklahoma. That, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't matter. Like, Oklahoma did make the playoffs. They played in a game. They did play that game. Notre Dame decided that they didn't want to play. I think they should be punished for not participating in the offseason. Like, you shouldn't reward people being babies about stuff. That's just my thoughts personally, but
I agree.
I digress. I'm not upset at the 13. You know, I'm hoping that as we look at the way too earlys, we'll look at them tomorrow. We'll kind of compare all of them and kind of see where the average is. And to me, being right here between 11 and 15 is another great starting spot for us. Our goal is to finish in the top 5 one day. I think we can get there, especially because this year should be a good all-in. But this one isn't too far off. I'm not actually upset about it.
Yeah, and then you go look at the coaches poll, and they like Oklahoma a little bit better, coming in at number 10. Again, I don't really have much issue with where they are sitting here. What's noticeable about this one is you go look at the full poll, and they also share where teams started the season. And Oklahoma started unranked in the coaches poll. I think they were like 23 maybe in the AP top 25 to start the season, but they were unranked in the coaches poll. They were one of 14 teams that were unranked to finish the season ranked in the coaches poll, which is crazy. And Jay, they're the only team that was unranked to start the season to finish the season inside the top 10.
That's testimony of this team, you know, showing the resilience and proving us right. You know, we told y'all this a 10-win season was coming down the line. Y'all didn't want to listen to us. We're going to keep tooting our horns on that one. Hopefully next year they can replicate that and not make us look dumb. But I'll say that, though. We got exactly what we told y'all we was going to do, man. This team, the defense was able to carry them all the way, and the offense was competent enough to get you 10 wins. Now this offense needs to be past competent. They need to actually be good. And by actually be good, execute on the stuff they need to. And by doing that, guess what, John? An opportunity for 11 wins is right there in our lap. But they've got to execute. That Georgia game is going to be tough. Red River's always tough, right? And then every single game after that in line is going to be a challenge. Ole Miss will be another challenge once again. Texas A&M, they're going to be a challenge. Maybe we can go for a 77-0 game again. I would love to do that to them one more time. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to that point, but my point is this. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be tough, but 11 wins is not out of the realm of possibility. This team has a schedule that's solid. Michigan's still going to be in a quote-unquote rebuild. You know, I think Coach Whittingham's going to be able to get them going pretty fast, but I think it's going to take them a couple of games. And luckily, game 2 is us. It's going to be a second time we're going to benefit from Bryce Underwood figuring things out with a new OC, new setup, and we're going to be able to go ahead and take advantage of that. I like that. Coach Sullivan knows Bryce. He synced him in practice, and he should be able to give us a little 4-1-1 on the way to take advantage of it. Plus, at the same time, we kind of put that dude in a blender. Brent Venables is infamous for putting freshmen and sophomores into blenders. we should be solid once again. But I digress on that part though, John. When I looked at the polls, I'm not mad. Like the funny thing is the coaches poll reflects the mindset that we had going into this when we talked about the AP. Oklahoma made the playoffs. Why should they drop out the top 10? That make any sense?
Notre Dame sat at home.
Yeah,
like
Notre Dame sat at home. They should drop. Yeah. They should just be pushed to the side.
Right.
Pushed to the side. That's all that matters.
They get rewarded for not doing anything. And I understand there's going to be a lot of people, I've already seen it on social media, ask the question, why does it matter? Who cares? Well, listen, these programs, they love to track AP top 10 finishes, AP top 5 finishes, AP top number 1 finishes. Those are things that they can put on a placard or in a media release. And it's something that gets pumped up about them over the course of their program's history. Those things matter in a PR perspective, on a recruiting perspective. And when you can say, hey, Oklahoma has been an AP, finished in the top 10 of the AP poll X number of times in their history, that stands out. As opposed, and when you're comparing it against other blue blood programs, which we should maybe have an argument that Notre Dame forfeited their right to be a blue blood by not participating in bowl season. But these are the comparisons that these coaching staffs, these front offices, these recruiting, directors that they will make. Oklahoma ranks number blank in number of AP top 10 finishes all time. Oklahoma ranks number 1 in most wins since this time period. Like those things matter from a recruiting perspective.
Yeah. And especially going into this season, that was the biggest challenge of the 26 class was that class had to be heavy evaluation and you can lock up what players you can get your hands on because there was a lot of negative recruiting. Brent Venables was on the hot seat. It's like, Brent Venables, he's going to have to win at least 7-8 games if he's going to keep his job. He got 10. Now everybody's like, okay, well, I think he's good. I think he's actually got to the point where he wanted to because the defense improved year over year. Again, the expectation is it should improve. If it takes a slight step back, going from 5, which is where the Football Power Index efficiency rating on ESPN had them rated, some of the others efficiencies had them either 4 or 5. Okay, if it drops to 6 or 7, it's not a bad thing. If it drops to, as long as it stays top 10, that's good enough to win championships. So what you've got to do is now get your offense to move into the top 10, and then you're cooking. Heck, top 15, you win 11 games. If you have a top 10, 15 offense this past season, you don't lose that Ole Miss game. Yeah. You win that one. Regardless of the weather, you win that because the offense was the thing that held you back. You may even win the Texas game because you were literally, that game was 3-3 at the half. You could probably been up 17-3 at the half. That's my point there is as long as the defense continues to grow, which it will, we lost a little bit of depth as far as going further back, but those young pups are ready to play. That's the other thing to remember. We've got a lot of young players that are ready to play, especially on this Brent Venables defense. They're going to get their shine. They're going to get their opportunity. And because he's willing to play them in critical moments, that's why they grow up so fast. We should be fine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what Oklahoma's going to do this year because I think they're going to be good once again. And that's exciting, man, that they can build off of this. Now, we thought going into 2024 that they were probably going to be pretty good too, but they just had so many injuries that it didn't really give us an opportunity to see what that team could have looked like at full strength. You had no Andrell Anthony, no Nick Anderson, no Jaden Gibson. It was just the depth was absolutely disastrous because of all the injuries. Now, you had reasonably good luck this year. You had some injuries, but it wasn't so many that it was devastating to your season. You were able to overcome them because your depth is better, and the depth is only going to get better and better moving forward. So this thing is on the right track. Brent Venables has got it going in the right direction. Jim Nagy was the right hire at the right time, and that front office staff came in at the right time as well, that they can parlay all the success from last year into more success moving forward. So exciting stuff, Jay. Any final thoughts on these polls and where we're headed?
No, I think that we're in a good direction. Now the question is when we start looking at these way too earlys, which we looked at some yesterday, we'll look at some more tomorrow's show. We're going to be now at the point where hype season is going to hit hard, guys. Unfortunately, we got expectations and we got to maintain it.
And I know y'all don't want a sunshine pumping or drinking the Kool-Aid, but dude,
all of it.
Like the the prices at the pump right now are really low because the fuel is in abundance right now after that 10-win season. Oklahoma's going to be a contender, and I'm excited to see, man, maybe this is the year that they can break that national championship drought. We'll discuss all of that because there's an SEC analyst out there that believes Oklahoma might be the team to go win the national championship. We might have to talk about that coming up on tomorrow's show. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow Jay over at Unfair Sports. Go check out his work for more Oklahoma Sooners and college football coverage. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. And again, subscribe to Locked On Sooners wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. But until next time, he's Jay. I'm John. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner.